Yes, I am muted.
There we go.
I always forget to do that. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm good, and I'm looking forward to this matchup as well. I mean, I was very surprised at who did make it through, but they had a good performance, and obviously they deserve to be here. And I think Nstone, they better not get in the trap of underestimating this opponent, because if they beat Ogre, they can definitely beat Nstone as well. So Nstone have to be on their best game as well.
Absolutely, yeah. No, again, that no doubt. Nstone Gaming, it could be a trap game for them. I mean, even if you advance on here, obviously there's still plenty to worry about. But don't worry about that just yet, because you got to get there first. And obviously Nstone is in that spot. Well, as is Team Who. Team Who, a little less maybe pressure in that sense. Again, they're not necessarily the favorites, but they have been looking good going into this. So let's start breaking down the game, though, seeing how things are playing out so far. We got the initial bans. It was Tremble, Warbeast, Silhouette, and Swiftblade coming out with the bans. Of course, we had Dr. Repulsor and Magmus, Glacius and Rhapsody. And now we have the Parasite pickup coming out for Nstone Gaming here.
Yeah, so I mean, the first pick on Dr. Pulsar, not a big surprise there. But then they follow up with, I think it was a Glaciers, which just it's just worked really nicely with the Dr. Pulsar because the mana regeneration. And they pick up an aggressive sort of jungler with Parasite as well, looking to maybe get aggressive and find a lot of pickoffs with Dr. Pulsar and Parasite. And I mean, I can understand why they picked up Dr. Pulsar, because obviously it's a strong hero regardless, but it doesn't seem a lot of Nullstone's playstyle. They seem a lot more sort of late game oriented, but a Magebane pick up third pick, that is rather surprising. Although it is Certus though, and I know Certus play a lot of Magebane actually. So
I think, is this the guy where you talked about in the past that likes to use like an Elder Parasite?
Yeah. This is the guy, and I think he goes like Elder Parasite and Null Fireblade as well, with the... Obviously, with the Null Fireblade changing to not have been a unique modifier, I think that's what he plays with it now. Because I mean, he played the Elder Parasite before that change, but now with it on as well, it's even better almost. So I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to see here. Unless, change up his mindset.
Now, it's safe to say they went with a hero like that for the sake of trying to go up against this Dr. Repulsor.
Oh, yeah, of course.
However, I'm a little concerned for him, though, at the same time, because Glacius and Parasite are both very powerful heroes against a hero like Magebane, for the obvious reasons of the freeze, and then the silence, of course, for Parasite, effective tools against him. So it's one of those, like, sure, it's a good... I don't even think you can necessarily call it a counter to Dr. Pulsar, but it definitely has a lot of potential to be with the big mana rift, if you get him low in mana, of course. So
the only problem with Magebane, though, in teamfights is that, obviously, in teamfights, you want to... Like, burst is so valuable in terms of teamfights. Obviously, if you can burst someone down very early on, then the teamfight's most likely yours. But with Magebane, obviously, he has to hold his mana rift until Dr. Pulsar wastes a lot of his mana. And so you have to sort of use it sort of near the end of the teamfight. And by that time, the teamfight could already be wrapped up and finished. So it's kind of... I mean, it's a good hero against him, but I wouldn't call it like an amazing counter against him. Yeah, it's still a good hero. I'm kind of surprised to pick a third pick, though, because, I mean, at Mage, I don't think he was going to get banned out regardless, so they could have easily fifth picked it, I guess. But perhaps they got two other heroes up their sleeve as well.
Perhaps. Yeah, you see the Bubbles, Lodestone, Tempest, and Kraken banned out, so now one more ban on either side. And then to that fourth pick we go. There's a Prisoner ban for the side of Nstone Gaming over here. So another mid-presence hero that could eventually end up in the hands of Fuzzy Sloth here. And, again, speaking about that, we got the chance to interview Fuzzy Sloth a couple days ago, I believe it was, or might have been on Thursday, I believe. But anyways, point being, he talked just about them kind of switching up roles a little bit. Asuka now more of that suicide, of course. Cholo Simeon, formerly known as, I guess with the name change came also a role change for him. Changing it up there. So, playing more of that suicide, though, where Fuzzy Sloth is more of the ganker presence. Final ban, though, from Team Who over here. Gonna put some good thought into this one before we develop into the next tier of picks now.
Yeah, they have to be careful of, I think, more scaling sort of suicides. Madman, Swiftblade, because I think Dr. Pulse is good and all, but they take out Flux as well. I guess it's a mid-hero that Nstone have been playing quite a bit, actually, from Fuzzy Sloth, so makes sense, I guess, but I think Nstone are probably looking for another scaling core alongside like a playmaker. So Madman might be on the cards here for Oscar, perhaps.
Yeah, more carry potential, definitely physical presence it would bring.
Yeah. Although Oscar doesn't really seem to play a lot of scaling carries. He plays like the playmakers like Magmus, Pharaoh. We see him a lot on the offlane. He doesn't strike me as like a Madman suicide, but could definitely change up here, perhaps.
thinking about what they want that fourth pick to be, definitely. Again, suicide options, most certainly something that they still need, but as well as that middle option, most likely. So, you got their plethora of choices to choose from. Also, keeping in mind you are going up against a Magebane now. Deadwood.
How did he get through the banning stage? I didn't realize that. Wow.
Snuck past. Maybe that was an oversight, too, on Team Who's part, perhaps, but eventually makes it out, and, yeah, that's safe to say a pretty confident option there for Nullstone. So.
Yeah. He just synergizes so nicely with Doctor and Parasite, though, because Deb will most likely need a +1 to kill what almost most people fear from Who, but Dr. Pulse is always a +1 practically, because he feels like he almost has that global presence almost of the mobility from Ludicrous Speed, so a nice pickup.
And down to already 10 seconds about of extra time here for Team Who, so coming down to the wire, seems like they're a fan of using most of this time, if not all of it, and they finally go with Midas here to try to compete against the likes of Nullstone. You know, a little bit extra lockdown, of course, with some transmutes coming out for Dr. Pulsar, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, they are very magical, because Magebane, until he just gets, like, 4 or 5 items, he isn't really the biggest physical threat, honestly. A lot of his damage comes from, obviously, the Mana Rift and the Mana Burn. But Midas is fine. I expect even Who perhaps to try and pick up another scaling carry, although Magebane can do a lot of the work if he's fed and created a lot of space for him. But for Nstone, though, I don't know. Like, I think Magebane would be useful here, but then again, Oscar doesn't seem to be one of those heroes that plays a lot of carries. He seems to be more of a playmaker. Pharaoh is on the board still. Yeah, he is. Look at Valkyrie, though, so scaling carry, I guess.
He kind of has both of those contributions. He could also be a playmaker with the arrows, of course. So, Valkyrie. Okay. Now again, they're not readying up just yet, so they're maybe trying to confuse Team Who as well right here, as far as what they may ultimately do. But I gotta think, yeah, it's gonna be Beaverbringer on Doctor. I'm pretty sure. They're just trying to keep them guessing. I'm sure. As far as what the certain is, but under 10 seconds now remaining for Team Who. They're right-clicking a Solstice. Okay, that's what they'll go with. Decided to go with the Solstice jungle route here. I assume that's what that's going to be, so strong jungle finish, definitely.
Scales as well, so at least this whole game isn't completely on Magebane, which I think, because of that Solstice pickup, though, I think Certus will definitely go out of Parasite now, because if Who had picked up another playmaker, for example, then they would have been relying a lot on this Magebane, and if you're relying a lot to sort of carry you into the late game, you're going to be expecting the Magebane to go like Rune Cleaver or in sort of the business go and farm up a lot, but with a Solstice, at least you've got an extra bit of scaling right-click into it, so Magebane can go that more aggressive build of Elder Parasite and Null Fireblade, which I think we are going to see, so that's going to be interesting.
Look at that. Look at how they readied up, actually. So Beaverbringer is going to be on Valkyrie. Doctor actually being played by Fuzzy Sloth, and then, of course, you got Deadwood being played by Asuka. So quite the switch up there, actually, from Nullstone Gaming over here as far as who they're trying to prioritize and whatnot. See what kind of impact that does have for them. But, yeah, I mean, that definitely caught me off guard. And I was also caught a little bit off guard by that.
I mean, the one weakness, though, with the Solstice pickup here from Who, though, is that they are definitely vulnerable to an aggressive pseudo-tri-lane, because Magebane offers very little to laning presence, and Solstice is somewhat of a defensive jungler, and actually there might be an engagement up here.
Magebane, now he has a blink. He runs into the middle of them right there, and he, of course, flashes away very quickly. Arrow! That was actually pretty close, but no, just skimming them slightly. In the end, no stun comes out, though. I do wonder a little bit if Nullstone kind of had the logic of, you know what, we're going against a Magebane, let's not prioritize a Doctor Repulse or carry farm. Let's instead give that to Valkyrie, who's not, as worried about a bigger mana pool and whatnot. I wonder if, that may have something to do with it here.
Makes sense. And they are going to try and shut him down in lane as well, which I do like this choice. Magebane is going to have... he's got weak lane stays, and Parasite can easily abuse Solstice in the jungle as well, because Solstice just isn't as strong as Parasite at level 1. Parasite picked up boots as well, where Solstice doesn't, so this aggressive pseudo-tri-lane from Nullstone, I think is going to work out quite well against Who.
Yeah. So here we go, spreading things out now into the laning phase. It is going to be a Suicide Midas. Here, Jim Carreyrou, the one going to be playing it here, will be matched up against that Doctor Repulsor.
Yeah, He should fare fine because he's 1v1 in this lane, and Parasite's not going to have any impact in the bottom lane because obviously he's in the aggressive jungle, so that should be fun.
Yeah. So Doctor versus the Midas down here. We'll see how that shapes up. You mentioned Parasite, for the time being at least, is currently in the opposing jungle. Takes over that Vulture Lord. Screw up Solstice a little bit. We'll run into Rhapsody and kind of push her out as well. So he's also going to even maybe block this. Yeah, he kills it in the yellow camp right there to prevent a spawn from happening. So it's a good heads up on what you got.
And even though what you got barely gets anything in this jungle because Rhapsody's going to be sitting on him, like, he's sort of trading his bad farm for Magebane as well, because obviously Glacius and Valkyrie are going to be 2v1 as long as Rhapsody is trying to box out this Parasite. So, yeah, what you got is just being an annoying Parasite. Like, that's all he needs to do. Keep enough pressure onto the Solstice to force Rhapsody to try and box the Parasite out, which just leaves Magebane vulnerable. I think Nstone are doing the exactly right thing as well, because they're winning top. They're winning. They're going to do fine mid, and they're going to do fine bot as well. The only person that is going to get a little bit shut down is the Parasite, but they're happy with that if they're going to trade getting Magebane shut down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's something that, and Parasite too. As far as getting shut down, it's again, I don't even know if he's necessarily looking to really try to get some great farm up here. It's more so keeping Solstice from getting some a good start, and so even if he has a mediocre start, it's really mission accomplished right there.
Yeah, he's going to get shut down, but that's what they need to do. Almost, they're trying to shut down sort of Solstice by doing that. So he's fine with that.
How confident? I mean, again, you've talked about this elder Parasite. Do you think that we are going to see that here, or will there just maybe?
I'm even more confident now as well because he's getting shut down in lane.
Okay.
I don't want to be 100% because obviously 100%, but
of course.
I am pretty sure. I mean, I was pretty sure when he did it before, but now with the Nullfire change and him getting shut down in lane,
so is the logic just simply I'm going to burn your mana really quickly and as a result also do extra damage?
Pretty much. So, like, before the Nullfire change, his mentality was, pick up Elder Parasite, you get involved early in team fights, because before, Magebane was just one of those heroes that just farms, that's all he does, doesn't really get involved in team fights, but with the Elder Parasite, he can. Obviously, the attack speed really works quite well with him with the mana combustion, but with the Nullfire Blade, it's all about stealing the mana. So, you can take a lot of mana, and because of that, you can dish out a lot of damage, and then his Mana Rift is even more effective because obviously the mana gets burnt a lot quicker. So against heroes like Dr. Propulsor, he can burn his mana very quickly and then get a big mana rift off from that. So
I see people bringing up, oh my god, they really should have drafted Moira as well with the Magebane. But again, to clarify that, guys, it doesn't actually work as you may assume it would. Where if Moira uses the Mana Sunder, then that's a huge Mana Rift. It actually doesn't take into consideration how much is actually lost at that point. It takes into consideration how much it would go back to instead. So it's really not as strong of a combo as you may think. But again, Moira in herself, of course, is a very powerful hero too against the Dr. Repulsor, so it still could have been a good option, but it's not like that, holy crap, it sets up a huge ulti for Magebane every single time kind of idea, so to clarify that for those that were bringing it up. But you do see Parasite here again, being harassed by Rhapsody, pushed out, but did kill off the Wild Hunter. Looks like now he's going to decide to go into his own jungle, slowing down enough of Solstice farm, and never mind. He goes right back, and he's almost a little uncertain of what he wants to do here and where he wants to be. Okay, can he get this Vulture Lord in time? That's going to hurt Solstice. Yeah, man, again, that's what he's here for. He's going to take it away from Solstice, and Solstice still remains level 1 as a result of that, so I think it's safe to say Parasite's actually accomplishing. And look at that, he puts it in the yellow. I love what he's doing here, man.
It's really smart play, blocking the yellow camp, because that's normally like Solstice's main camp to farm. Honestly, hard camp takes a lot of damage from level 1. So yeah, just smart play, honestly.
Yeah. See, Serta's not a huge fan of the server. Let me do a ping all real quickly. Yeah, I mean he's up there at about 200 or so, but again, it's just you're playing on the USC server, and in their case, he knew you. It could have been at least a possibility, so it's just that's how it has to be, unfortunately. So, anyways, Magnus stuns in the middle lane right here. Glacius dropping about half-life currently. Magnus, though, taking some good return damage and a Bloodlust kill in favor of Resha. The freeze came out of the Rotten Grasp. Magnus, the one playing aggressive there, regretting immediately. Rhapsody also going to get caught, and just like that, it's a 2-0 start here in favor of Nstone Gaming, and unfortunately, here come the cries here for Team Who. So,
No, they're just getting outplayed, put it simply. Nstone doing very, very well of shutting down the laning phase here from who a little bit aggressive, or sorry, a little bit greedy with the Magebane plus the Solstice, particularly when Parasite already was picked up, and actually they're pressuring their Solstice now as well. He might be in trouble if Glacier can get the freeze off. Oh, fogged.
Yeah, there's the freeze, and I'm pretty sure Solstice, I mean, he charges, he's trying to do everything he can. A Leech is going to be up in 1 second, though. Magebane comes in, there's a Leech, one more auto attack. Can he get it off? He can, and down he goes. Parasite, he's dropping low. Magebane maybe flash it and go for the kill, but instead, they're going to try to get a guaranteed kill on Glacius. He saw the arrow coming. Well played by Sarah, just right there. One more auto attack should get the job done, and they do. And also, Parasite, one auto attack away. Another flash up in 5 seconds. Will he go for it? He's dropping low himself. There's a Disco Inferno, though. That gets the kill. You go big, making some big plays. And he actually gets a double tap in the end. So, definitely a team who was really needing something like that because it was looking ugly here early on in favor of Nstone.
And honestly, that was a slight misplay from Magebane, because once he chucks out that arrow and it misses, Certes knows that he can jump in and go for those 2 kills. If Magebane holds that arrow until he's for sure going to hit it, if he's point blank range with Magebane, then Magebane does not make that play. But so missed that arrow, and Magebane sees the opportunity to go for a kill, and he does. So slight misplay there from Magebane, but just good play from Certes, knowing that he can get for the kill because a skill was missed or a skill was used.
Yeah. Parasite back in the opposing jungle, though, once again, and immediately finds Solstice. They happen to be the same level now, and actually Solstice, he's the one all of a sudden playing aggressive, and now what you got, he's going to take some damage from Rhapsody as well. Has a Wild Hunter, though, going to take that over, and he will be fine in the end, but feeling some good pressure right there. Magbus in the middle lane, of course, having that death that he suffered earlier. As far as this creep farm is concerned, he's actually competing pretty well with Deadwood right here, to be fair, and is currently 23-3 now against a 22-7 Deadwood, so managing solid as Parasite. Okay, yeah, Parasite's actually in his own jungle now. They were trying to set up a kill on a Magnus, but the wrong grasp missed, and Parasite instead will continue to farm elsewhere. But is that a little surprising that Magnus is actually competing so well?
He did have Rhapsody rotate over for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, also it's melee versus melee as well, so Magnus can do quite well. And he's only 50 GPM behind, actually. He's rotating down here to Doxer, but he's not going to get this kill, though, I don't think. Doxer's level 6.
Yeah.
And they don't have Eruption, either. I don't see them getting this kill, I don't think.
He's not level 6. Oh, yeah, he's on level 5 now. Oh, good. Oh, good. And you see, Midas playing aggressive. Dr. might feel something's up. By now, he definitely knows Magnus is here. Magnus not going to stun just yet. Now he's by himself. Yeah, Midas isn't anywhere nearby yet, so Magnus is going to take some good damage. And he actually even stuns defensively right there. Then comes Dr. Repulsor, though, and down goes Magnus. Parasite assisting with the kill. In fact, getting the kill on top of it. Oh, that's got to hurt, man. Yeah, the intentions were good, but the execution was pretty sloppy, honestly. And it backfired.
Well, I mean, if Magnus actually holds that stun until after he gets pulled, I think he's fine. But he preemptively stuns, and the Doctor can have a free chase on him, so... Yeah, I think Nstone just a little bit outplaying them in the laning phase here, and we're doing well to shut down Who from the start.
Yeah, and not only on top of that, but again, we were just saying Magnus is actually doing pretty well with creep farm here in the middle lane, but he's been gone now for at least a minute, if not longer. Deadwood's at free farm as a result, and he's now 35-14 compared to a 23-3 Magnus. Top lane Rhapsody's going to end up dying, but they do get a kill onto Glacia, so support for support, as Valkyrie is going to be fine. And Mana Rift was ready, but again, it really wouldn't. It's not a whole lot of damage at this point. So
no, I don't think it would have killed him. Level 1 Mana Rift actually does kind of a underwhelming amount of damage. Actually,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I thought Valkyrie was going to leap because her mana was going to get stolen anyway. But I thought she was going to leap, but she gets her mana stolen, doesn't get it to do anyway. But she still survives, which is the main thing. So.
That is the important idea. But no, you're all right. I mean, it's kind of a small thing like that. It's like you're going to lose a mana anyways. Why not just use the ability? It's not like the longest cooldown. It's only 30 seconds at this point, but hey. Survived, that's what matters. Good to go there. Deadwood, Steam Boots in the bottle, so going to start working towards the portal key now. I'm sure Magnus wants to ideally at least finish Steam Boots first, but now with a couple of deaths here, I wonder if he's going to just try to prioritize the portal key ASAP, and it could be a third death, unfortunately. Rotten Grass goes out, going to hide in the Steam Bath. They do not have dust, unfortunately, so Magnus going to be fine, but the Minotaur stun, yep, it will stun him. Rotten Grass, oh, will it make I mean? Yes, goes up and down goes Magnus. He needed to pick up on that sooner.
Yeah, that was really slow reactions, because I think he had a stun up as well, but didn't want to use it for whatever reason. So.
Yeah.
Couple of misplays here really are hurting Team Who.
Oh, Midas going at it with Parasite. Lands a Transmute right there. He's not going to hang around to see what would happen, though.
Man down, boys.
Yeah, I honestly think he could have made something happen there.
Yeah, I think so as well.
The buff from the ultimate. Meanwhile, up here, Rhapsody, good staccato stuns. They find Solstice, so instead going to try to chase after him. Again, Deadwood doesn't have his Falcon Punch up yet. He killed Magnus with it earlier, so not going to be able to take advantage of that, and they'll start running back and ultimately be fine. Magnus was up here trying to set up a fight itself, but no cigar as they all fall back together. So that means Doctor, though, he is free farming the bottom lane in the meantime because Midas doing some rotating and actually finds himself in the middle lane currently. I don't know if that's something they want to keep here. I mean, you look at the GPM charts right now, though. The top 4 farmers are all on side of Team Nstone Gaming, for that matter. So their start 4,200 gold lead, 3,400 experience lead. Really good here. And yeah, Solstice only had 173 gold per minute. You could think Parasite for a lot of that. In fact, it could get worse right here. Rhapsody, the arrow's going to be barely dodged, but Beaverbanger really wants that kill. Leaps in for it. Here comes Solstice. Now he doesn't have the stun charge, being nighttime. Good damage, though, coming out. The Mana Rift secures the kill. There's 310 damage. Actually pretty good right there. And it does secure the kill on a Valkyrie. We do see Glacius going to be able to stride away, however. So they do come out on top of that exchange, though. Rhapsody for a Valkyrie. They'll take it.
Yeah, just Valkyrie obviously had completely 0 mana, so the damage actually isn't too bad. But yeah, just good kill. Onto Valkyrie, just Nstone probably playing a little bit too aggressive, but they can afford to do so, though they are still very, very far ahead. And Deadwood and Doctor are getting good farm, so even if Valkyrie does fall, it's not too big of a deal.
Doctor level 9, though. Again, he's just been having a good time down here, especially with Midas rotating over. Now he comes back to the bottom lane, but now he's at a 2-level disadvantage here. And Doctor's farm is all the way up to 345 gold per minute, so yeah, Midas being gone for as long as he did, unfortunately, may not have been the best option there, but Team Who trying to make plays elsewhere, of course, as they definitely need to get something going here once again. And, you know, again, go back to the idea, especially with them being behind here. You look at Magebane, he has 2,000 gold saved up, so we're going to get information shortly here on what he actually is going to do in the end. He's still sitting on red boots, to be fair. Oh, Magnus. Is he in some trouble? Dr. Pulsar could fly in to assist and guarantee a kill.
I'm pretty sure if he does, he just ulties and Qs it. Oh, he's going to spot our TP rotation, though.
There we go. There's the opening. Doctor comes in to secure the kill. Magnus on the steam out. That's not enough. The electric turret goes down and it does explode for the kill. And they get the bottom tower kill in the process because of the distraction right there. So the momentum continues big time for Nstone Gaming, and it's going to continue once again. Rhapsody, he also gets caught out. Ron grabs it. It's going to be dodged at least. It does force him to run back into Deadwood, though. He dodges the arrows while he's doing a good job of dodging stuff, but it's not going to be enough in the end. You see the ultimate from Solstice coming out with the Lunar Judgment. Magebane now coming in. He has a Mana Rift, I believe. 5 more seconds. It won't be necessary. Glacius will actually die to the tower right there. Again, kind of being a distraction there, if anything, for his team. So
Picks up the Elder Parasite as well.
did he? Okay. Yep. He's still sitting on the red boots. What do you think? What is your take on that? I mean, not even steam boots yet.
I actually like it, though, because obviously the Elder Parasite gives 250 max health, whereas obviously strength team boots only give 10 strength and obviously 19 HP for each strength. So it's actually a little bit more effective in terms of his sort of tankiness. Obviously, if he uses it, then it will backfire. But it's useful against any kind of burst from like Deadwood or Parasite. And he'll probably pick up steam boots next, but it's useful in terms of like the extra movement speed as well. If he doesn't need to chase, for example, and gives him ways to farm the jungle as well, because obviously the life regen. So makes sense really. He's gonna pick up steam boots, and then, like I said, I think he's gonna go into the Nullfire blade as well after that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I mean, that Nullfire change, I remember when it did happen, it's like the talk was there. It's like, oh, Magebane's going to be so crazy now. And then, you know, haven't really seen anything of it. But they're just going to try to give us that example here. Because, again, it really does seem like it's going to be powerful. Because his mana burn alone, it's quite, what is it? It's 64 mana. Then you got the Nullfire blade, I believe it's 20-something level 1? What is it? It is 20 and then 36 at level 2, yeah. So, it's a lot of mana. Anyways, there's a lot of action at the top end in the meantime. Look at the numbers here and missing a couple of kills. I apologize. Speaking of Magebane, he does go down again, unfortunately. So, or for his first time, actually.
That's the only annoying thing or bad thing with this build, though, because although it does allow him to get into bottom team fights and he can do a little bit more work, the problem is that you can't go strong and hit. And not going strong in it when you get involved in team fights, particularly at a competitive level. People will just really punish you, as it did right there. He jumped in, popped the Elder Parasite. Not only does he not have a shrunken head, but he's taking a lot more damage, like 15% damage taken increase, and that's the one issue with this build. I mean, it is a little bit peculiar and it is kind of cool, but bottom lane, Midas is going to go down.
Lex Talionis, what you got, did mention that he is a fan of this item, and with the change that made, and he picks it up right here, assist for the kill. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they also get another kill onto Rhapsody, it looks like. So Nullstone Gaming is just really taking it to Team Who right here.
Yep.
In game number 1, already nearly 14 minutes into the game, they have an 8,200 goal lead, 7,000 experience lead. They got the portal key on Deadwood, a Nullstone in the works pretty quickly here for Dr. Pulsar, and then you got Valkyrie, good battle build early on. The Phase Boots are Ghost Marchers and the Energizer, and now 1,700 gold saved up on top of that, so it's not much to compare to on the side of Team Who. It's, again, pretty struggling. Even with the other person, like I said, is still sitting on the red boots. And that's a great point. I mean, the other person now, again, it just to clarify, too, for those that may forget, it did get reworked. It does include, it gives you health now with the build up there, that Beast Heart. So it's not like it's just a straight-up attack speed item anymore. But still, it does to make you take 15% more damage, as you're pointing out. And there still is that big downside. So... yeah, and the other thing I'd like to point out, because I kind of forgot about that too, you cannot use it with a shrunken head because of the on-use effect. So Parasite actually, he gets caught out here. Transmute comes out from Midas. Not enough for the kill initially. It will be enough for the kill in the end, but it took them way too long. Down goes Midas. Valkyrie, she needs to leap away. Or maybe not, actually. She's going to be fine. Dr. Pulse, in the meantime, he's doing this thing against Magnus. Magnus gets the stun off just barely in time. Dr. Pulse are going to try to get away here. Mana Rift is enough for the kill. And a double tap for Shorkon actually coming out playing Solstice. They want more. Willowmaker right away on a Rhapsody, though. That was like a 10-yard portal key. It's pretty much, I don't even know if it was necessary, to be fair. But they do get it. And I think it will finally be done here as Glacius is just going to hug the tower at the bottom lane.
2 for 2, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 for 2. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad for Who. Nullstone weren't really ready to take that team fight. Like, Who were literally grouped as 5 from the start. It was Nullstone. They were, like, I think 3 at the start, and then eventually they started rotating over. So it was okay for Who. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, I mean, they obviously are very far behind, but I think with this build from Magebane, like, they have ways to get back into the game just through team fights. Like, if they get a good team fight happening from, like a big eruption or maybe some misplays here from Nullstone, they should be alright, because this Magebane is going to be involved in team fights. So, and if you can get a big mana from say like the Doctor Repulsor, then it can do a lot of work. Like, I think that one mana rift there was like, it was like 600 damage, I think, onto an AoE. It's a lot of damage. So it's looking grim, but if there's one big team fight, could definitely turn it around for him. So.
Shout out to a couple of the fresh boys in chat right here. I see Zibi and ProBusk at least. They're tuning in, not only just to watch some good Han, but this is going to be their opponent that they face in the Final Four, remember. So also getting an idea here of who they may end up facing against. And right now, Nullstone, of course, especially here in game number 1, looking pretty good. And of course, we have the series to play out, but we'll see how that continues, of course. Top lane, Rhapsody needs to be careful. She puts on a rev ward. I think they might have seen Deadwood with the invis, but now Rhapsody's going to get caught by Glacius right here. Glacius with the early Astrolabe even. Freeze comes out, and Rhapsody pretty much knows she is screwed. And Mana Rift comes out, but no, it's actually canceled. He does eventually get off. Deadwood was not nearby, though, or close enough to get hit by it, too. So Glacius falls, but now Deadwood's looking for more. He does not have Willowmaker anymore, of course. Midas, nice port right there. Wild Hunter, Parasite, is he in range? Ron Grass to the other side. Look at that range of the face hug. It's not enough, though, and actually they do dodge the Solstice ultimate, however, as they're going to start falling back. So a couple of missed abilities there back and forth. Not the most casualties, though. I think both teams lost their support, and that's it. And then exchange in the end. How about the portal key on Solstice, by the way?
Yeah, it's I think a good team fight on him, because obviously his Breath of Soul has been a little bit lackluster in terms of sort of hitting it, but at least now he's portal key and stun and then instantly use it just for the guaranteed burst damage, and it's something that Slap does like to do. I mean, the stun is a very, very good stun, and if you can obviously hit it on 2 or 3, the portal key is definitely worthwhile. It can be like your initiator in itself, kind of thing. So I do like it, and I mean, just sort of trying to build sort of late game isn't the way to go, because they are very, very far behind. If they're going to get back into it, it's going to be through team fights, and it's such a good team fight item. So.
Hidden Fizz, Glacius. Now, again, that's a Veil to Rot, so he's not seen by the red form, but it doesn't get exposed eventually. Solstice jumps in on the Parasite. Parasite, they're going for the burst on him. Magebane Silence comes out with the fence, and the big 5-second arrow. That should scare. No, the protective melody in return from Rhapsody. What a save right there. Magebane, is he going to look to go aggressive now? Solstice with the stun. Magebane is still low on life, though. Unless he gets a good mana rift off, Solstice is going to be locked down. Solstice is going to fall. Rhapsody goes down. So big plays by both teams, but the big picture, Nullstone is going to come out on top. Magebane just blinking away. They also lost, I believe it was Magnus, at another lane in the process in the middle. So as big as those plays were, look at the vote to concede already even coming out. No GG's being called yet. Something tells me there's a little frustration going on the side of Team Who over here. And understandably so, but this is just not going their way. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see them concede, but I wouldn't be surprised to at least see them hang in here and see what Magebane can do. But it is already continuing, in fact, to look pretty ugly for Team Who, unfortunately.
When you call that GG vote, like the game is almost already over. Not because obviously how far you might be behind, but because if one or two of your teammates want to concede, yeah, the mentality is like already gone. But they are going to keep on going here. I guess you never know what could happen. I
100% agree with that, and I'm the same way in TMM games as well. It's like that mentality. It's like clearly when one or two people have just given up and they're spamming concede vote, and that one guy's like, "No, guys, we have a chance. I swear." It's like, well, if they don't believe we do, I mean, what's the point? Let's just move on.
It's a team game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Die here,
the Valkyrie Prison, that catches him. Can he blink in time? He cannot. And Certus
this
goes
Lex
down.
Helionis, man. I actually love this build, though, from Parasite. Like, it's so cool. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, because if you're really cool about it as well, you can, like, Lex someone, and obviously then you can face hug another person, so the debuff you get from Lux Helionis on yourself can be transferred onto another enemy.
Oh, they were playing this sneaky. They knew Devil was here all along. They played it safe. And goes the Eruption. He got the Willowmaker off, so at least he takes him with him. And in fact, no, he didn't get the kill first either, but at least they killed Deadwood. Unfortunately for Magnus, though, he dies yet again. That is his 7th death of the game. Not the prettiest game for him, but again, setting up the kill at least. You taking advantage of that rev that they had down. The top tower also going down, of course, though, in favor of our Legion side. So again, it comes back to Magebane with the death right there, slowing him down once again. So he's not even really 300 gold per minute right here, but it looks like he is working towards that idea of the Nullfire Blade on top of the other Parasite. So it's not going to be the most beautiful because of where they're at this game, but at least we'll get an idea most likely of what it can be. Midas does get his portal key too, by the way. So they got their all-in items. Really, they need one. They need it on Magnus 100%, of course. Unfortunately, still doesn't have it.
He's had two kind of poor games on Magnus, actually, the one before this and the last series. Obviously, they still won that one, but it's not friendly with the GPM on Magnus. But yeah, I mean, it would have been kind of cool. I mean, we might still see, actually, the Nullfire Blade on Major and sort of see how much work it can do, but obviously being 13,000 gold behind doesn't always give the best representation of what it could have been. But still, it's going to be interesting to see if he can finish it.
Wild Hunter, look at this Parasite. He's just killing off the Ancients, sitting in the Wild Hunter. And hey, he was even spotted earlier on, but he knows that, with the Magic community, there's not much that they can do about that. And it's just such a powerful tool to take advantage of if you're a Parasite, of course. So, by the way, again, while continuing on with this game, again, big shout out to Cats Gaming over there in CIS. Again, earlier today, from my understanding, they actually defeated, I believe it was called Mecha, was a team that they're going up against in their grand finals, 3-2. That means Cats Gaming is representing CIS at the Han Tour World Finals. Of course, they have history in the competitive international Han scene. Several DreamHacks that they've been to and whatnot, so it's going to be good to see them again. But back to this game. Midas again gets picked off right here. Deadwood doing work. You see Certus, he blinks in and puts in a couple of auto attacks. But then comes the Valkyrie Prism as well as Valkyrie herself. And look at the damage she's doing, actually. That Thunderclaw proc going off every now and then. They also get the pick off in the background of the Rhapsody. And now Solstice, he stuns. He knows he's in trouble, having to do something. He goes down. GG's being called this time. And I think it could be official, and there we go. So they hung in a little bit longer, but it wasn't to be. Nullstone just got the start, and it just did not stop, man. The snowball was ridiculous here from Nullstone Gaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nullstone just were really on top of their game. They were outplaying their opponents in lane. I mean, in terms of strategy as well, they knew exactly how to punish it. Punished the greedy short lane from Magebane, and they punished the greedy jungler in Solstice as well, just with their Parasite. And this is the biggest sort of strength for Parasite. We haven't seen too much of Parasite, but slowly creeping its way back into the competitive scene against a hero that doesn't fully go out of the competitive, I guess, just with the ability to run like an aggressive jungle as he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really well played from everyone on the side of Nstone, and but I think who can definitely give a better performance than what they have done in this game one for sure. I mean, they played very strong against who is it? Ogre, sorry, in the last series. But the thing that between the game, this game and last game, it felt like the draft was completely different. Like, they picked up like Magebane and Soul System. It didn't feel exactly the same. I don't know. We'll have to see something different in game 2.
Yeah, I am a little disappointed, and I'm sure not alone in this, that we at least didn't get to see the Magebane develop with the Elder Parasite Null Firefly. That would have been pretty fun, but perhaps there's a reason why that isn't necessarily a popular thing.
Well, they lost the game, like, regardless of Magebane could have built like anything kind of thing. So it was they just lost the laning stage very, very hard because of their draft was a little bit too greedy and went from there. But
yeah,
one day we'll see the Elder Parasite Null probably.
Will work, damn it. But this game one is not really the attempt to, if anything, to really make it work. So we got game number 2 coming up.